Students, welcome to CET or NEET class. This is regarding first chapter, reproduction in organisms. We will go chapter by chapter, okay? I start from first chapter only. Already you have learned this chapter in theory, so you might be having some knowledge about this chapter, and you wrote test also on this chapter, so you might be knowing what is there in the NCERT textbook. Okay, today for NEET point of view, you should think little bit beyond the textbook also. Okay, how much you have understood the concept, you will come to know today. Okay, so we cannot go very slowly what we were learning in the theory class. Okay, so because we have to learn a lot for NEET. Okay, so first chapter, reproduction in organisms. Name only says. They are not talking about reproduction only in human beings. They are talking about reproduction in all the organisms. Definitely, all the organisms doesn't reproduce by same way. They reproduce in different ways, by different ways. Okay. Mainly, there are two types of reproduction. You forget that what you have learnt in 10th standard. Okay. They confused you by saying there are three types of reproduction. In 10th standard they said sexual, asexual and vegetative type of reproduction, isn't it? Actually asexual and vegetative reproduction both are same. Asexual word we use for animals, the same asexual method in plants we call it as vegetative propagation. So asexual and vegetative method is same. That means there are only two types of reproduction mainly. Okay, so that is first one is sexual reproduction and second one is asexual reproduction. Before we learn types of reproduction, first we should know what is reproduction. Okay, so reproduction means process of producing offsprings of same kind. Same kind means human beings produce human beings only, dogs produce dogs only, cats produce cats only. Have you seen anywhere that cats produce human baby? No, it is impossible. Okay, same kind means same type. Cat produces cats only. Okay, tiger produces tiger cubs, Okay, so process of producing offsprings, okay, or children's, what you say, offsprings of the same kind or same type. Okay, so there are two types of reproduction mainly, sexual and asexual reproduction. Name only says. Sexual reproduction means they have sex, that means mating is there. For mating, both male and female are required. Okay, so two parents are required here. Two sexes are required for sexual reproduction. That means male is required and female is required. Okay, only male cannot reproduce here. Have you seen anywhere? Only male is there. By sexual reproduction, it produces offspring. Okay, it is not possible. Okay, so sexual reproduction involves two parents. What about asexual reproduction? Name only says asexual. A means without sex. That means two parents are not required here. It is uniparental. Uniparental means only one parent is enough. Either male or female. Both are not required. Okay. Directly male produces offspring or directly female produces offspring. Okay. So if you see the difference between sexual and asexual reproduction, we will list out many types of, many differences we find. So what we learned here, sexual reproduction involves mating or sex. This is without mating. Okay, then sexual reproduction involves production of gametes. Gametes means sex cells. Like human male produces sperm and human female produces egg. Those are male and female germ cells or gametes or sex cells. All three words are same. Okay, whether you call it as gametes or sex cells or germ cells, all these words meaning is same. Okay, so male germ cell or male sex cell is sperm, female sex cell is egg. Okay, so as both the parents are required for sexual reproduction, involves two parents, that is male and female. Male and female both are required. Asexual reproduction is uniparental. Uniparental means includes or involves single parent. Only one parent, either male or female. Anyone is enough. Okay. So as sexual reproduction involves two parents, so male and female, they produce their gametes. That means third difference if you see, production of gametes or sex cell is there. Here no gametes production. No gametes means exceptions are there. There are exceptions. Sometimes in asexual reproduction gametes are produced, but fusion of gamete doesn't happen. Fusion means male and female gamete doesn't meet. Okay, so asexual reproduction is also called as agamogamous type of reproduction. What is agamogamous? A means without. Okay, without, it is not without gametes. Gametes are produced, but gametes doesn't fuse. Okay, in most of the cases under asexual reproduction, no gametes are produced. Okay, sometimes gametes are produced, but gametes doesn't fuse. So it should be agamogamous. Okay, so here in sexual reproduction, male and female sex cells are produced. Here no sex cells are produced. Then you compare speed of reproduction. At what speed reproduction happens? Sexual is fast or asexual is fast? Or else I'll change the sentence. Which is very slow reproduction? Sexual reproduction, you think in human beings, how many months it takes to produce a baby? Once female becomes pregnant, then it takes 9 months, 9 days. 36 weeks it takes. Okay, 9 months to produce a baby. In case of elephants, it takes 2 years. Okay, almost 24 months it takes to produce a baby by sexual reproduction. Okay, what about bacteria? Bacteria simply reproduces by binary fission, where one cell divides into 2 cells. Okay, it hardly takes 18 to 20 minutes. 18 to 20 minutes it reproduces. One cell becomes 2 cell. Okay, so tell me, which is faster? Asexual reproduction is faster, isn't it? Quick. And sexual reproduction is slow. Okay. Then any other difference you find between sexual and asexual reproduction? Under asexual reproduction, offspring produced look same like the parents. For example, I'll give an example. Okay, you consider this is amoeba. Okay, this is amoeba. It splits in the middle into 2. See, it happens like this. It produces 2 daughter cells. One amoeba divides in the middle and becomes 2 daughter cells. See, the correct way of learning NEET or CET is every point, every question or every sentence you should ask question. Okay, you should think why it happens like that. Can I ask you one simple question here? Amoeba reproduces by binary fission. Fission means division. Okay, one cell divides into 2 cells. Why these 2 cells are called daughter cells only? Why not son cells? Why it is called daughter cells? Why not son cells? Because simple reason. In human beings, daughters or female have the ability to become pregnant and they reproduce and produce offsprings. Okay, do you think human male becomes pregnant and produces offspring? No. Human male is just responsible for reproduction, but who gives birth? Process of giving birth is by female only. Okay, I'll give very simple example. Okay, you think that I have one daughter and one son. Okay, my daughter has the ability to give birth in future. Okay, when she goes to that age after marriage, okay, she has capacity to give birth. But my son, okay, he will not become pregnant. Okay, don't think that he will not become pregnant, and he doesn't have ability to give birth. Okay, so here these daughter cells again divide and becomes two more daughter cells, and this daughter cell divides again and becomes two more daughter cells. Okay, and those two daughter cells again divide and becomes two more daughter cells. That means 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes 16, 16 becomes 32, like that it multiplies. Okay, so every cell has ability to give rise to new cells. That is why, because of that ability, in humans only female has that ability. That's why here they called it as daughters, not sons. Okay, so this binary fission happens in 18 to 20 minutes only. So it is quicker, and surprising fact is these two daughter cells produced, they look exactly same like the parent. Okay, like you cannot identify later that which is a parent and which are the daughter cells. You will be confused. Okay, like one more example we will take. One amoeba is there. It reproduced into so many amoebas, more than 100. 1 became 2, 2 became 4, 4 became 8, 8 became 16, like that. More than hundreds are produced. Now, if I ask you to identify which is that first parent, you will be confused, because all the hundreds of amoeba, including parent, looks exactly same. Okay, so they are not only morphologically same. Morphology means, you know, appearance, external appearance, how I look like outside, that is morphology. Okay, external appearance, you know this, first year you have learned morphology of plants. Okay, so not only morphologically they look same like a parent, but genetically also they are same like the parent. Means to look like also they are same like a parent, and genes present inside, genes present in these cells are also same like the parent. Okay, so what these identical cells should be called as then? They are called clones. Okay, right here, clones. You know this word in theory, you have learnt. Clone means morphologically and genetically same like the parent. Okay, so this amoeba and these two daughter cells of amoeba, all three have morphologically and genetically same, so they are all clones. So under asexual reproduction, offsprings produced, all of them are called clones. Okay, that means offsprings looks similar or same like the parents in case of asexual reproduction. What about sexual reproduction? See, very simple. See, I don't look exactly same like my father also, mother also, but I have some similarities. Do you understand the word difference? Same and similar. Like my chappal, okay, or my shoe. You cannot wear my shoe because I am already wearing it. Okay, my shoe cannot exist in 100 places because I have only one pair. One pair of shoe cannot exist in 100 places. Okay, but there are shoes which are similar to my shoes. Are you understanding? Similar means same, like same. Okay, it looks like that. So similar means, you know, almost all look similar, but in case of sexual reproduction, offsprings produced, children will be different from the parent. So they are not clones, they are slightly different from the parent, and this difference what we call variation. Variation means change. Okay, so offspring produced in sexual reproduction will produce variation, but in asexual reproduction all look same, so no variation, no change. Okay, so in case of asexual reproduction, no variation produced, no change, all the offspring look same. But in case of sexual reproduction, variation is produced. Now my question is, why this variation is required? Is it important? Is this variation important? Of course it is important. Okay, otherwise you think this whole world will be having only same kind of organisms, clones only. Then how human beings will come to earth? You think first organism was bacteria, archaebacteria. Okay, if archaebacteria reproduces by binary fission, then now at present in 2020, world should be full of only archaebacteria. Do we have only archaebacteria in the world now? No, we have different kinds of organisms because change. Okay, so offsprings produced will be slightly different from the parents. Because of that, one organism produced other organism. Okay, so it is very simple. Some of the algae became bryophytes, some of the bryophytes became pteridophytes, some of the pteridophytes became gymnosperms, some of the gymnosperms became angiosperms. Okay, plants came first on earth. That is why chapter 3 in first year is plant kingdom, then comes animals on earth. That is why fourth chapter is animal kingdom. Okay, under animals also, if you think which animals came first, based on that phylums are arranged, isn't it? First phylum is Porifera. Why Porifera first phylum? Why can't we bring Echinodermata as first phylum? Because Echinodermates came last. Which animal came first on earth? ಅಂದರೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಫಸ್ಟು ಬಂದಂತಹ ಮೊದಲು ಬಂದಂತಹ ಪ್ರಾಣಿಗಳು ಯಾವುದಿದ್ವೋ ಅವುಗಳು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಫೈಲಮ್. ಆ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗಿ ಸಮ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್, ಸಮ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ದೋಸ್ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕೇಮ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಫೈಲಮ್ ಆ್ಯನಿಮಲ್ಸ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪೋರಿಫೆರನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಕೇಮ್ ಸಿಲೆಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್. After Coelenterata comes Ctenophora, then Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata, then comes Chordata. Okay, human beings are not first on earth. That is why we come last under Chordata, last class, Vertebrata, isn't it? So, what I was saying, so variation is required because variation is required for evolution. Evolution ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವೇನಂತರ ವಿಕಾಸ. ಓಕೆ, ಚೇಂಜ್. Evolution means one organism evolves and becomes other organisms. First plants came on earth, then comes animals. Okay, so variation is required for evolution. Then I have one question now, which is best type of reproduction, asexual or sexual? Okay, best type of reproduction is sexual reproduction only because it involves variation, and this variation leads to evolution. Without evolution, we would have not come to this earth at all. If evolution is not there, if our offspring produced will not change from the parent, then how do you think different kinds of organisms are formed now? So variation is very important. Okay. Then what is that confusion? We don't have third type of reproduction. Then what is that vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation? Asexual reproduction, this word asexual is used for animals. The same word asexual reproduction in plants, we use that word vegetative. Okay, if you ask me why vegetative, see, if you bring animal body parts from the market like goat's liver, okay, goat's liver, heart, all these, what you bring, what is that you call boti, kaleja, all that, no, animal parts, okay, for cooking. You eat chicken, mutton, all this, for that you have to bring animal body parts. Okay, goat's body parts. Okay, so these body parts, we don't call them vegetables. Do we call it as vegetables? No, it is meat. Okay, but plant parts when you bring for cooking, like fruits, leaves, some of the leafy vegetables you bring, and some of the vegetable like cauliflower, it is a flower of the plant, it's a flower of the plant. Okay, when you bring those parts, we call it as vegetables or vegetative parts. Vegetative part means in plants, flower is a sexually reproducing part, you know, because flower contains, second chapter you have learned, you know, sexual reproduction in flowering plant. The sexually reproducible part of the flower is androecium and gynoecium. Androecium is nothing but anther. Okay, gynoecium means, you know, it has three parts: ovary, style, stigma, female reproductive part. So other than flower is a sexually reproducible part. Okay, what about in human body, which is sexually reproducing part? In human male it is testis, in human female it is ovary. Okay, so other than these testis and ovary, remaining body parts like hands, legs, head, neck, all these, what these parts are called? Do we call it as vegetative part? No. Okay, it is a body part. But in case of plants, sexually reproducible part is flower. Other than flower, what all parts are there? Leaf is there, stem is there, root is there. All these parts are called as leaf, stem, root. These are called vegetative parts. Okay, so if flower is involved in reproduction, that is sexual reproduction in plants. Other than the flower, ಅಂದರೆ ಫ್ಲವರ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಉಳಿದ ಭಾಗ ಯಾವುದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, other than flower, remaining parts are leaf, stem and roots. If these reproduce, if leaf produces entire plant or root produces entire plant or one part of stem produces entire plant, then we call it as vegetative propagation. Okay, so sexual reproduction means it is in case of plants, flowers will do sexual reproduction because flower is a sexually reproducing part. In case of humans, it is testis and ovary in male and female. Okay, so other than the flower, other than the sexually reproducing part, the remaining parts are leaf, stem and root. If plant reproduces by leaf, stem and root, then it is vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation. That is nothing but asexual reproduction only. Okay, flower is sexually reproducing part. Flower is involved in sexual reproduction. What about other parts? Leaf, stem, roots. They don't do sexual reproduction. Then what they do? Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction word is not used for plants, it is used for animals. Then what word we should use? In case of asexual reproduction, you should use the word vegetative reproduction. The correct word is not reproduction, vegetative propagation. What is propagating? Multiplying. One plant can produce thousands of plants. So it is called multiplying. So propagation. Okay, so only two types of reproduction, sexual and asexual. You can search anywhere. Okay, you search in Google or you search anywhere. There are only mainly two types of reproduction, sexual and asexual. Asexual reproduction only is called as vegetative reproduction in plants. Okay, anyway, we have to learn about all three words: sexual, asexual and vegetative. What all methods are there under these three, that also we have to learn. Okay, so one thing we learned, that is difference between sexual and asexual reproduction. Okay, so we have seen merits and demerits of asexual reproduction also. Now next what we have to learn, which all organisms reproduce by asexual method and what are the types of asexual reproduction methods. All that we have to learn now. Oh, where is duster? Already you know this chapter, theory part you know very well. So I don't have to slowly teach you what is going on. You know this chapter very well because we have to learn more than the chapter, for more than what is there in the textbook we have to learn for NEET and CET, because when you look at the questions given for NEET, CET or NEET, then you understand the level of questions. Okay, then you should not say this was not there in the textbook. It is related to the textbook. One thing you should understand, textbook is like a skeleton. Okay, skeleton. But remaining parts of the body, other than skeleton, what we have? We have flesh. Okay, remain blood, veins, blood vessels, all these we have to add, then only it becomes a human being. Without skeleton, body is nothing. If no bones, then we can't stand straight, we have to roll. Okay, like we will be like a football. So textbook is must, you have to know every sentence, every word in the textbook, but other than that, little bit more also you have to learn for CET or NEET. Okay, so types of asexual reproduction in organisms. What we will do, one small part of the chapter we will learn, like today we can maximum learn types of asexual reproduction because it needs lot of time for this. Okay, then we will discuss some questions on asexual reproduction. Then next class we will learn sexual reproduction, because whole 1 hour is required for explaining sexual reproduction. Then some questions on this sexual reproduction. Then next class vegetative reproduction, types of vegetative reproduction, and some questions on vegetative propagation. Like that, part by part we will learn. Okay. Okay, what are the types of asexual reproduction? You know, you have learned in 10th standard. Anyway, we'll recall once again. So first I will write all the types of possible types of reproduction, then one by one we'll discuss. First one is fission. Fission means, fission means division. One organism divides into 2 daughter cells. Under fission, mainly 2 types are there. Binary fission, then multiple fission. Bi means 2, In chemistry we use based on number of carbon atoms, isn't it? Only one carbon atom is a mono. Mono, di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, hepta, octa, nano, deca. Deca means 10. So like that, alkane you call it as methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, octane, nonane, decane. Like that, isn't it? So bi or di means 2. Binary means one organism is divided into 2 parts. What is multiple then? More than 2. If one organism is divided into more than 2, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts, then it is multiple fission. Okay. So binary fission, we'll take example. Bacteria reproduces, or we'll take very simple example. Amoeba reproduces by binary fission, where one organism is divided into, what happens there exactly? See what happens, I am showing. What is happening there? This is one cell, amoeba, parent. This is a nucleus, cytoplasm. Okay. Then one cell tries to divide, it stretches. Okay. Then next it becomes 2 daughter cells. So 2 cells are produced. So as 2 cells are produced, it is binary fission. Okay. Then multiple fission, we'll take example Plasmodium, which is a protozoan which causes malaria, Okay, malarial parasite Plasmodium. Under unfavorable conditions. Unfavorable means when condition is not suitable for reproduction. See, to do some work we see seasons, isn't it? So like farming will be done in which season? Farming, agriculture is based on what? Rainfall, okay, sunlight, all these are factors, okay, required for agriculture. So they see which month, which season, in which season which plant we can grow, which crops we can grow, they plan it, isn't it? So like that, Plasmodium under unfavorable conditions. Unfavorable condition means it can be anything, like if suppose bacteria is there in your stomach, Then in the stomach, unfavorable condition is hydrochloric acid, HCl produced. You know, when HCl produced is in the stomach, that HCl may dissolve the bacteria and kill it. So it will form one tough covering outside. Okay, it will form one tough covering outside. That is called cyst wall. You think this is Plasmodium, okay? It will form one hard cover outside. That is called cyst wall. And process of formation of this cyst wall is called encystment. Encystment. You think I am Plasmodium, okay? Around me one hard cover should be there. Then it is cyst wall. It is encystment. Why it should form that cyst wall? Because it is surrounded by acids, or it is surrounded by high temperature, okay, or it is surrounded by very cold temperature, -degrees. Then it has to protect itself. For that it will form a tough cover. Okay, so under unfavorable conditions, Plasmodium covers itself with a cyst wall. The process is called encystment. And when condition becomes suitable, andre condition suitable iddaga, then the cyst wall breaks open and hundreds of, one organism is divided into so many hundreds of parts. Okay, cyst wall breaks and hundreds of amoebulae. Now each daughter cell, hundreds of amoebulae are released. Okay, then each one becomes Plasmodium. Each one becomes entire organism. Amoeba produced only 2 daughter cells, 2 offsprings, but this Plasmodium has produced hundreds of offsprings. Okay, many offsprings. As it is many, more than 2, so it is called multiple fission. Many parts are produced. Okay, so one type of asexual reproduction we learnt, that is fission. Okay, now let us see second type, budding. This we see in many organisms, especially yeast, then hydra. All these undergo budding. Budding means, suppose this is yeast. Okay, yeast, fungus, unicellular fungus, only one cell. So the skin, what is there, the membrane grows outwards. So bud is nothing but outgrowth. Andre skin irodu horagade beliyuvanthadu. Okay, it grows outwards. So it is a outgrowth, like my skin is there. If it tries to grow outside, then it is outgrowth. So outgrowth is nothing but bud. Later it detaches, it separates and becomes one yeast. Okay, in case of yeast, it is very special type of budding. See, it can form anywhere, or it can form more than one bud, and it can form one over the other also. Vandra mele ondu. Okay, like a chain. Here also, it can form here also, one above the other. Then later, all these will separate. This will break. Suppose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buds are there. These 5 buds will separate and becomes 5 yeast. Okay. So it can form in multiple positions. Then hydra, which lives in water, okay, these are tentacles, you know this, hydra. The small outgrowth is produced like this, then slowly it produces tentacles, then it will grow, then later it detaches, separates, and it will fall. Then this becomes entire hydra. Okay, so bud is nothing but outgrowth produced by the body. Okay, so 2 types of asexual reproduction we saw. Then third type, Regeneration. Name only says regeneration means what? Regeneration means lost parts will be regenerated. How? Lost parts will be regenerated means planaria, you see, it's some of the flatworms. Some of the flatworms, planaria, you know, you have seen it. Organism will be like this. Okay. If you cut this animal into 3 parts, then suppose this is first part, this is second part, this is third part. You cut the animal into 3 parts, then each part becomes entire organism, because this part, what is the top first part, is like this now. Okay, it will form remaining parts and becomes one entire organism. And this part, what is there, it will form remaining parts and becomes new organism. Like that, 3 parts becomes 3 different organisms. Name only says regeneration means lost parts. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆಯೋ ಆ ಪಾರ್ಟನ್ನು ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತದೆ. ಲೈಕ್ lizard, have you seen lizard? Once it loses its tail, it again produces tail. But remember, tail cannot produce a lizard. ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ, ಹಲ್ಲಿ ಗೋಡೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಲಿಸರ್ಡ್, ವಾಲ್ ಲಿಸರ್ಡ್, ಅದರ ಬಾಲ ಹೋದರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಾಲ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಬಾಲದಿಂದ ಹಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಾಲ ಇಡೀ ಹಲ್ಲಿಯನ್ನು ಉತ್ಪತ್ತಿ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್. ಟೇಲ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಲಿಸರ್ಡ್. ಓಕೆ, so regeneration ability for flatworms. Okay, so like this, even what is that, even echinodermata also, some of the echinodermata like starfish also has capacity of regeneration. Starfish, you know, starfish, if it loses one of its arm, if one of its arm is cut, then it produces that arm. So some of the echinodermates also have ability of regeneration. Then what about next method, that is fragmentation. Fragmentation means, you know, fragment means piece or one part. Okay, so this type is there in some algae, fungi, bryophytes, pteridophytes. All of them have this type of reproduction. That is, even porifera also has fragmentation. Fragment means piece or one part. Okay, like algae, green algae called Spirogyra, which you have learnt in first year. It is filamentous, like a ribbon like structure. Many cells will be there. See, cell number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cells are there. Long ribbon like green algae. Okay, if its body is cut into parts, like 4 parts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 parts. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then each fragment becomes entire organism. Each fragment becomes entire organism. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಪೀಸ್ ಇರೋದು ಇಡೀ ಜೀವಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, one small piece becomes entire organism. Then you may ask, difference between regeneration and fragmentation. Regeneration means lost parts will be regenerated. ಅಂದರೆ remaining lost parts will be regenerated, but fragmentation is one fragment or one piece produces entire organism. Both are not same. Okay. Some other differences between fragmentation and regeneration also we will see later. Okay, then some of the algae, bryophytes, then pteridophytes, then porifera, that is sponges, first phylum. All these also show fragmentation. Okay, like in sponges, one small part is cut. Okay, then that small part becomes entire sponge. Okay, then that is nothing but fragmentation. Okay, then there is no space here, so I have to rub this. Then spore formation is there. Spore formation, sometimes, especially in case of algae and fungus, okay, you have learnt in first year, it produces different types of spores like zoospores, aplanospores, conidiospores. Okay, so these type of spores are aplanospores. These are different types of spores produced. Let us see, that is, spore production is also type of asexual reproduction. It is nothing but sporulation. Okay, if you see bread mold, that is Rhizopus, we generally say it grows on bread and produces thread like structure, then it looks like a balloon like structure it produces, you know, bulbous structure it produces. And this bulbous structure, what it is called as, this bulbous structure is called sporangium. Why it is called sporangium? Angium means bag like structure. You know that biology words are either taken from, it is derived from Latin or Greek. Okay, as per their language, angium means bag like structure, and this bag like structure inside contains millions of spores, small chalk dust like structure. Okay, millions will be there in a bag like structure. So angium means bag. Bag containing spores becomes sporangium. Okay, then what is this stalk, stick like structure which is having the bulb? Sporangium. These are sporangiophores. Don't get confused, huh? Sporangiophores. Sporangio, Phore, 4 means, you know, stick like structure. Then what are these spores called as? What are these spores inside? They are called sporangiospores. Sporangiospores. Okay, so this is in case of Rhizopus. Then different kinds of organisms produce different types of spores. What are those spores? We will see now. Okay. What are the different types of spores produced? In case of Eulothrix, Ectocarpus, that is Chlorophyceae, Phaeophyceae members, zoospores are produced. Algae, Chlorophyceae means green algae, then Phaeophyceae means brown algae. They produce motile, means, you know, motile flagellated, they will have 2 flagella. They are aquatic, they live in water. So the spores have 2 flagella. It can beat the flagella and it can swim in water. So it is motile flagellated spores, nothing but zoospores. Okay, in case of Chlamydomonas, you see algae. Chlamydomonas, bag like structure. Within that bag like structure, it produces spores like this. Okay, each spore will be like this. 2 flagella, it beats the flagella and moves forward, swims. So this is nothing but zoospore. Then many zoospores will be there in a bag like structure. What is that should be called as? Zoosporangium. See, angium means bag. Bag containing zoospores becomes zoosporangium. Okay, zoosporangium is a bag like structure which contains many zoospores. Okay, so other examples also you can give. Eulothrix is algae, then Ectocarpus is algae. I am teaching in detail, so I see that nothing will be left for CET or NEET. This is nothing but detailed learning. Okay, it increases your knowledge, then nothing will be left to study for NEET. So this much you have to prepare for NEET. Okay, so CET is slightly below this, little beyond the textbook you should know, but NEET you have to know more than that, okay, because the level of questions they ask will be like that. Okay, so blue green algae, we are still in sporulation only, types of spores produced. So asexual reproduction only I can't finish today, so that much we have to learn. For in short I'll write blue green algae, in short BGA, also called as cyanobacteria. Okay, they have different types of spores called hormospores. This is slightly beyond the textbook, okay, so if you want you can just take, otherwise just leave it. Then Ectocarpus produces neutral spores. Ectocarpus algae produces special spores called neutral spores. This is too much beyond the textbook we are discussing for NEET. Okay, neutral spores are produced. Okay, so neutral spore is nothing but one vegetative cell only, entire vegetative cell act as a spore, then it is neutral spore. Then what about aplanospores? This you have, you know, under unfavorable conditions, Spirogyra, Ulothrix and all algae. Spirogyra, then Ulothrix algae, under unfavorable conditions they produce these spores, that is aplanospores, without flagella, so non-motile, they cannot move, they cannot go from one place to other place. Okay, then diatoms produce statospores. Diatoms, which looks like a soap box, which belongs to which type of Protista? Protista have 5 classes, do you remember? Under Protista, kingdom Protista, first comes kingdom Monera, then comes kingdom Protista, has 5 classes: chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime molds and protozoans. Under protozoans again 4 types, that is ciliated protozoans, flagellated protozoans, amoeboid protozoans, then sporozoites. First year, do you remember first year? Don't forget first year, because for CET and NEET both first year and second year questions they ask 50-50, first year 50%, second year 50%. Then first year botany 50%, zoology 50%. Then second year botany 50%, zoology 50%. So botany and zoology has exactly 50-50 weightage. For NEET especially, biology questions will be more. Okay, out of 180 questions, 90 questions will be only biology. So it is out of 720 marks NEET, 360 marks will be only biology. Okay, so don't think that very easy questions they will give. Okay, if they, because all over India they are conducting this exam NEET, so and scoring 600 and above, okay, you will get 550 and above also, you will get government seat, free seat. So definitely there will be a lot of competitions, so the level of questions they ask also will be like that. Not difficult questions, but you have to understand the theory or concepts very well. Okay, so diatoms produce statospores. Okay, then what about other type of spores produced? Rhizopus produces sometimes thick walled spores, that is called chlamydospores. Then it produces thin walled spores also. See, Rhizopus produces 2 types of spores. Rhizopus bread mold, which grows on bread. New bread mele, on the bread white patches will be produced, you know. In local language they call it as boost. It is not boost, okay, it is fungus. That fungus is nothing but Rhizopus. Okay, Rhizopus is called bread mold. Sometimes it produces thick walled spores, that is chlamydospores. Under favorable conditions it produces thin walled spores, that is called oidea or oidiospores. Oideo, O-I-D-I-A, oidiospores. Okay, then Other type of spore is called Soredia. Soredia is one type of spore which is produced in adiantum. Adiantum, you know, it grows on the compound wall and all. Adiantum leaf will be like this, okay, small, but it will have a leaf this shape. Sorry. Okay, this type of leaf, this is adiantum. If you see below the leaf, okay, it produces a patch like this, brown color spots. If I zoom one leaf like this, okay, it produces spots like this on the leaves. This is nothing but Soredia. So each Soredia is a sporangium. It's a bag-like structure. It contains millions of spores under each Soredia. Okay, this detailed, this much detail is not required anyway, but for we are learning for NEET, so I thought we'll discuss little bit more than what is there in the book. Okay, so we will then one more important type of spore I have to tell you, that is Conidia or conidiospores, because which is there in the textbook also. Conidia, you can call Conidia or conidiospores. In case of penicillium, which is fungus which produces antibiotic penicillin, you know. Okay, so the spores will be like this. Penicillium, one hyphae. Hyphae means, you know, first year you have learnt. Plant body of fungus is called hyphae. Okay, many ribbon-like structures will be there. Each ribbon-like structure is called hyphae, and many ribbon-like structure folds and produces a network bunch of hyphae, that is called mycelium. Fungal body is called mycelium. Okay, one of the hyphae produces bulb-like structures like this. Okay, this is conidiophore. Conidiophore, I told you, phore, phore means stick-like structure. On that, it produces round spores arranged one over the other. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಈ ಥರ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಈಚ್ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ conidiospore. Okay, each spore is called conidia or conidiospore. Okay, these spores are exogenously produced. This exogenously produced word you know first year. Exo means outside. Exogenously means they are produced outside. They are not within any bag-like structure. ಯಾವುದು ಬ್ಯಾಗ್ ಥರ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಒಳಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಓಪನ್. So if strong wind is there, the wind will carry all these spores. Okay, wind carries all these spores. ಜೋರ್ ಗಾಳಿ ಬಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಸ್ ಗಾಳಿಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. Okay, and when it falls on suitable media, suitable substrate, then it becomes new hyphae or new fungus. Okay, but see, in case of ascomycetes, because under fungus, you know, there are 4 classes. That is Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes and Deuteromycetes, imperfect fungi. Under Ascomycetes, the spores will be within a bag-like structure. See, it is bag-like structure. Spores will be inside. This is endogenously formed. Endo means inside. Or spores are within a bag-like structure. That bag-like structure is called asci. A-S-C-I, asci. It is not called asci. It is asci. So they are called ascospores. The spores are present within a asci, so bag-like structure. So the spores are ascospores. So these are types of spores. With this, we didn't finish asexual reproduction. In next class, because time already more than 45 minutes, theory I explained only about asexual reproduction. In next class, part of asexual reproduction will continue. Okay, then we'll discuss questions. Now we'll discuss some of the questions. At least 10 questions on asexual reproduction we will see now. Okay, so I hope you can see this questions. Can you see these questions? Locating the camera properly. I hope you can see these questions properly now. Is this clear? Okay. So first question you see here, first question they say, first question, physiological activities means what? Physiological activities means options. A physiological process in living organisms or chemical reactions in living organisms, then physical reaction in living organisms, complex of physical, chemical and biological process in living organisms. You know what is physiology means? Physiology means what happens in the entire cell or entire body. It is a collection of all the processes, biochemical process. See, biochemical process I am saying. You have already learned this under heading metabolism, you know. It is sum means collection of all the biochemical processes happening in the body. You have learned plant physiology and animal physiology separately, you know. Whatever happens in entire animal, it becomes animal physiology, like respiration, breathing, then circulation, then muscular activities, then endocrine glands, whatever happens in our entire body, excretion, that becomes animal physiology. And what happens in plants, entire plant, like respiration in plants, photosynthesis in plants, okay. So all these becomes then mineral nutrition in plants. You have that plant physiology chapters, no? So correct option, physiological activity means it should be option D. It's a complex, it's a union of physical, chemical and biological processes in living organisms. Okay. Then question number 2. Which physiological process is important for formation of offsprings? Which process is required for producing offsprings? Today's definition we learnt about reproduction. So reproduction is process of formation of offsprings only. Okay. So it should be copulation, digestion, nutrition, assimilation. It should be option A, copulation. You know, the word copulation means mating. You can use different words. All the words meaning is same. Copulation, not population. Population under Janasankhya. Yet a copulation starts with C. Copulation, coitus, C-O-I-T-U-S, coitus, mating, sex, sexual act, all these words meaning is same. Okay. So sex, mating leads to offsprings, production of offspring. So it should be copulation. Then when young ones can reproduce? By obtaining nutrition, by growth, by attaining maturity, by nutrition, growth and maturity. What all things are required? Only food is enough, nutrition, or only animal has to grow, it has to become mature also. So all three are required. So it should be option D, nutrition, growth and maturity. Then which is correct sequence for living? What are the stages? Birth, death, growth, maturity. Birth, growth, maturity, death. Death, maturity, birth, growth, or growth, maturity, birth, growth. Which is correct? So it should be option B, isn't it? First take birth, then grow, then become mature, then die. Okay, so it should be option B. We'll go to next slide. Okay, question number 5. What is the definition of continuity of life? What is the definition of continuity of life? Option A, observing variation from one generation to next, then continuous similarity and some variation from generation to one generation to next, similarities from one generation to next, none. What is the definition of continuity of life? It should be none, because continuity of life is nowhere related to this. See, first option is observing variation from one generation to next. Continuity means what? Is it observing? No, it is not observing. Continuous similarity and some variation from one generation to next, that is also not continuous. So similarities from one generation to other next generation is also not continuity. Okay, so continuity of life means one organism should become other organism, then only it is correct. So it should be option D, none. Then what is the reason for genetic variation? If genetic change should happen, then what should happen? Preservation of discontinuous characters, preservation of continuous characters, some characters preserved by reproduction, or preservation of inheritance. What is inheritance means? Transfer of character from one generation to other generation. Like for example, I got characters inherited by my parents, and my daughter will inherit my parent. Now anuvanshiyate anta ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ, means characters transferred from one generation to other generation is called inheritance. Okay, so according to that, which is a correct answer? It should be option C, that is some characters preserved by reproduction, because some characters will be preserved in during reproduction, that is genetic variation. That means, very simple, we are produced by 23 chromosomes of father and 23 chromosomes of mother. That is how a zygote becomes 46. Sperm carries half of the chromosomes, 23 chromosomes, egg carries 23 chromosomes, then sperm and egg meets and becomes a zygote, then it is 46 chromosomes. So 50% of the characters, 50% of the chromosomes remains in the father, and 50% only will be transferred to offsprings. 23 chromosomes from father, 23 chromosomes from mother, out of 46. So it is 50. Some will be preserved in the parents, and some, only half will be transferred to the offspring. So it should be option C, some characters preserved by reproduction. Then on the basis of which factors of reproduction method is determined? On the basis of which factors reproduction method is determined? Which factor? Habitat, other factors, internal physiological process of living beings, habitat, physiological interactions and other factors, and only effective factors. Do you know what is the meaning of habitat? Habitat means place where animal lives. ಅಂದರೆ ಜೀವಿಗಳು ವಾಸ ಮಾಡುವ ಸ್ಥಳ, ವಾಸಿಸುವ ಸ್ಥಳ. The place where animal or organism lives is habitat. Okay, so according to that, which is correct answer according to you? It should be option C. Habitat, physiological interactions and some other factors. Other factors means in the body hormones should be produced. Okay, then age is also a factor. So newborn baby cannot reproduce. Okay, so it should be option C. Let us see next slide. Okay, which is proper sentence for asexual reproduction? Which is proper for asexual reproduction? Just now you learnt in detail. Offspring obtained from one parent, then gamete formation occurs, offsprings obtained from single parent without gamete formation, or meiosis happens. What is this meiosis, mitosis they are talking about? That I should tell you. In case of that is also one of the difference. In case of sexual reproduction, what happens? It is meiosis, isn't it? Because it is both mitosis and meiosis. First mitosis, then meiosis happens in case of sperm production. Third chapter, human reproduction, when you learn spermatogenesis, first two cells will be having 46 chromosomes, then next cells of sperm will be 23 chromosomes. So mitosis means number of chromosomes remains same, 46 remains 46 only. That is 2n number of chromosomes remains 2n. But meiosis means it becomes half. Okay, so in case of asexual reproduction, it is mitosis because the offspring looks same like the parent. That means all 46 all 100% chromosomes should be transferred to the offsprings. But in case of human being, we got 50% chromosomes from father, 50% from mother. So it is meiosis, isn't it? Because gamete will be haploid, sperm will be having n number of chromosomes, 23, and egg will have 23. So which is correct then? So according to that, C should be correct, isn't it? Offsprings obtained from single parent without gamete formation. Gamete is not formed in asexual reproduction, but in case of sexual reproduction, gametes are produced. Okay, so it should be option C. What is proper for sexual reproduction? Two different parents are required, forms two similar gametes, then offsprings are exact copies. No, is it offsprings are clones? Then only that option is correct. Then two different parents forms two different gametes, mostly similar offsprings obtained. So which is correct option according to you? It should be option D. Two different parents forms two different gametes, mostly similar offsprings are obtained. Means two different parents means male, means father produces sperm, mother produces egg. They produce two different gametes but produces similar offsprings. Means their children will be offspring, means human beings only. Humans produce humans, dogs produce dogs. So it should be option D. Okay. Question number 10. When is meiosis occur in sexual reproduction? When is meiosis occur in sexual reproduction? Options: at the time of parent cells, at the time of gamete formation, at the time of offspring formation, or at the time of somatic cells formation. Okay, so it should be option B, at the time of gamete formation. Meiosis occurs in sexual reproduction at the time of gamete formation, because see, meiosis is reduction division, chromosome number becomes half. So in case of human male, during sperm production we have 46 chromosomes in every cell, but in the sperm it becomes half, 23 chromosomes. And in case of female also, egg will have half, 23 chromosomes. So meiosis occurs during gamete formation or sex cell formation. Okay, so we will discuss remaining parts of asexual reproduction in next class. If possible, because I know some of you are writing these questions, no need to write and waste time. If possible, okay, I will send these questions in the WhatsApp group also. Okay, if possible I am saying. Otherwise, anyway, I will read these questions very slowly, you can write down. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ತುಂಬ ಸ್ಲೋ ಆಗಿ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಬರ್ಕೋಬೋದು ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ and one more thing is that this is YouTube class, so you can see these videos again and again. Only this questions part you can see again and again, you can write down also. Okay, so keep watching my classes. Thank you. In case of doubts you can ask me. Okay, thank you.